Hello friends, so today I'm going to be comparing the Chemical Guys Signature Series Wheel Cleaner formulated for gloss finishes versus the P&S Double Black Brake Buster Total Wheel Cleaner. So both these cleaners are non-acid wheel cleaners, so which is important for me because I have some freshly powder coated wheels with the gloss finish and I'm trying to keep these, safe. So what I'm going to do today is clean these front two wheels. So as you can see, because they're white on the inside, they just collect brake dust and it's super visible. So here's my front driver's side wheel. We're going to use the Chemical Guys wheel cleaner on this side. So these two wheel cleaners, they say you could dilute it. Chemical Guys say you can dilute 4 to 1. The P&S Brake Buster, allegedly, they say you could dilute it, dilute it all the way up to 10 to 1, but I'm going to leave both these super concentrated just for this test to see the maximum cleanliness that they can get. So first things first, I'm going to spray the wheels down to get all the loose brake dust, all that stuff off there. Try to get all up inside there. So that got some of it out, but if you look closely, you could still see quite a bit of brake dust. Watch. Boom. There you go. So first test I'm going to do is just spray down this whole wheel. I'm going to be generous. Get all up in the wheel well. So they say let this sit for a minute. So we're going to time this for a minute. Okay, it's been exactly 1 minute. We're just going to rinse it down just to see if it had an effect. So let's take a closer look. So as you can see, that's where I did the finger wipe. It doesn't look like it did much without any agitation, which is to be expected since the instructions did say you need to agitate all the brake dust in order to clean it off. So why don't we spray it again, and next time we'll do some light agitation. Okay. So there's a lot of nooks and crannies in this wheel, which make it really hard to clean, especially in the white areas, in the corners. So I like to put a bunch in there, and then also I want to make sure I spray down the barrels. And the brake caliper. Okay, we're going to let that sit for another minute. In the meantime, I'm going to get my bucket. Put my wheel brush in. This is a WOOLLYWORMIT. Oh, I love this. This is great for cleaning the wheel, the barrel of the wheel, because it's flat. It's flatter than some of the other things I have, and then you can move it around, obviously, and it's very narrow because there's not a lot of room between the disc and the barrel of the wheel. And then I have 3 different sizes of these that I can just run inside for all the different corners, and a small brush here. All right, so it's been about a minute, so I'm just gonna start with the barrel and work my way from the top down. So you can see there's a lot of this. This soap is pretty dirty. It's coming out kind of gray. Now, granted, I do clean these wheels, I would say relatively often. However, you still see a lot of brake dust even from minimal driving. So this is why I love this one the most, because between the caliper and the barrel, there's not a lot of space, and this fits in perfectly. Okay. So now I'm gonna start taking this, just go around different places I can reach. Grabbing the slightly smaller one for the smaller areas. Now the hardest part to reach in these wheels are these areas right here. So I like to do a quick one over with the tip of this. See if I get most of it out. The problem is this doesn't get the corners well. So I need to go back in with the brush. Here, let me just take this, get the face. So far, so good. Let's see, where's my... Try to get all these nooks and crannies right here. Get it in between these titanium lugs best I can. All right, now let's do a quick rinse. So here's the finished product. Super clean. All these corners are pretty clean right here. Pretty much, I'm pretty satisfied. So I've been cleaning these wheels regularly without any brake dust wheel specific cleaner. And honestly, it's been really tough and time consuming, especially getting into the corners of these wheels and making sure all the brake dust gets out. And that made it a whole lot easier. So next up, let's try the P&S Brake Buster. All right, so we're gonna do a similar thing on this side. So this is the passenger side wheel. As you can see, there's quite a bit of brake dust accumulation also. Let me do a quick swipe real quick so you can make it easier to tell. And we'll do the same exact thing. First, we'll rinse it off. You can see a bunch of brake dust has fallen off. However, I just want to make sure you can see, if you look closely, there's still a bunch of brake dust still on the rims. So next up, we'll do the same exact test. We'll just spray a bunch on and see how it works. So this is really easy to see where it's at because it's pink against the white, so really easy to tell where you sprayed it and how much am I putting on. So I put a generous coat, made sure I got the barrels, the caliper, and now we're just going to wait 1 minute. All right, so it's been a minute. Now we're gonna do a quick spray. All right, so now we're gonna take a close up at the wheel after it's been rinsed off. So from what I can tell, it does look like it got some of it off lightly. Not much, obviously, without the agitation, but it did help a little bit. So let's do the real test now where we spray it back down and clean it off. Again, we wait a minute. All right, so it's been about a minute now. We're gonna start agitating this stuff. First things first.
While I'm cleaning these wheels, let me just give you some background on the reason why I'm testing these cleaners out. So I just got these wheels powder coated two-tone white and black, and I didn't realize how much brake dust my pads and disc create. I even swapped out the stock OEM brake pads for ceramic brake pads, and they're still creating a ton of brake dust. I also ceramic coated these wheels, which helps make cleaning a bit easier, but I still need a good acid-free brake dust cleaner in order to, keep my wheels safe. Also, in the white areas, especially in the nooks and corners, the rims often trap a ton of brake dust, and so it often seems like it's a magnet for brake dust. Also, cleaning these corners is a bit tough, so that's why I highly recommend getting one of these cheap cleaning brushes that I use near the end. that are less than 10 bucks. They're a lifesaver. You know, it makes it a lot easier and faster rather than using microfiber towels and trying to stick your finger in there and trying to get in the nooks and crannies. And after using these for a few times, you know, it makes it a lifesaver.
All right, let's take a quick look at the finished product. As you can see, it looks pretty clean. I'm touching it now. It feels smooth, not a lot of dust. I still see a little bit in the corners. Most likely that's my fault. But yeah, overall, it's pretty clean. Very similar to the Chemical Guys one. Honestly, I can't really tell a big difference. The only difference was possibly due to concentration. So Chemical Guys recommends diluting 4-to-1, whereas the Brake Buster, they say you can go all the way down to 10-to-1. So both seem pretty good. The Brake Buster seemed like it worked a little bit better without much agitation. So that's gonna be what I'm gonna be buying from now on.